The first Jordan 12 of 2024 is about to release, and I think last year was actually a pretty good year for Jordan 12s. We didn't see a ton of them, but we had like the two Arma Manea Jordan 12s, which I personally really like. We also saw the OG Cherries come back. Very good shoe. And this shoe that I'm reviewing, it's a new colorway, and it's a colorway. Air Jordan 12 Taxi Flip. And this shoe is dropping on May 25th for $200 in the United States. And it is kind of a deviation or play on the original Taxi colorway. We've seen a ton of those deviations before. This one is officially named the Taxi Flip. And the Jordan 12 originally retailed for a price of $135. So very expensive. And the Jordan 12 was actually the first Jordan brand shoe after Jordan brand kind of deviated into its own company. So they spun off of Nike officially. And first impressions of the shoe, I think why not just give us the OG Taxis? I'm not like in love with the colorway. I think it's pretty clean, obviously just a majority white sneaker. I've never really loved 12s that much, so unless it's like an OG colorway or a very nice and special looking colorway, I'm like not too excited for most 12s. So yeah, decent, but I'm not like in love with it. And the upper of the shoe, it is completely leather, and the leather is decent. It's not like super nice. It's not the thickest cut of leather, and it is very textured leather. I do like seeing the texture of leather come through. Sometimes it can be a little bit overdone, but I don't think this is too overdone. So overall, decent leather, but it's not like the best leather ever. And if you didn't know, Tinker Hatfield designed the Jordan 12s as well. He was inspired by Japan, which was nicknamed Land of the Rising Sun. At one point, the Japanese flag actually had like rays of sunshine. So the stitching on the upper of the Jordan 12 is meant to resemble those rays. So very cool design there. And that's probably my favorite thing about the Jordan 12 is that stitching pattern. I just think it's very unique. It almost gives this like more streamlined aesthetic and look to it. Yeah, I like it. And I like the inspiration behind the shoe. And then on the toe cap area, that is actually inspired by women's high heels. Now this shoe does not come with any extra laces, just white laces. And if I had to choose another color, I think maybe even red laces would look pretty cool, or black laces. I think I would have preferred actually black laces for the shoe. But yeah, one set of laces for your peasant. And sticking to the tongue area, you'll see a very special, distinct feature of the Jordan 2, and that is the 2-3 that is spelled out. And another thing that's very distinct of the Jordan 12, it is of course that mudguard that is meant to resemble full lizard skin. I never really like this texture, just don't really like how it feels, how it looks. Of course it's fake. If it was real lizard skin, it would be super expensive. But again, just like the patent leather on Jordan 11s, it is a Jordan 12. Can't really go into a Jordan 12 and then like complain about that part of the shoe. Sometimes they do modify it and like make it suede on that part, but most general releases does come with that faux lizard skin texture. And another thing that's on this part of the shoe is that Jumpman tab that is red on this shoe. So kind of going for like a Chicago white, black and red colorway. Of course on the OG Taxis, that is black as well. And then another very distinct thing of the Jordan 12 is of course those silver eyelets at the top. Feels very plastic, but it's meant to resemble this kind of chrome aesthetic. Gives it a bit more of an elegant or upscale look. And then moving on to the booty of the Jordan 12, this is probably one of the best booties of all Jordan brand shoes. So you'll see the Jordan tag, which says Jordan, quality inspired by the greatest player ever. And then the 23 that's imprinted at the very bottom of the shoe there, topped off with the pull tab that is a Jumpman sewn into it. I don't really love pull tabs on shoes, but this pull tab is pretty subdued, so not a huge complaint there. And one thing that's a pretty big drawback on the 12s is very minimal ventilation. There really is none. So if you sweat a lot on your feet or ventilation is a big priority for you, this shoe might not be it. And the Jordan 12 comes with a Phylon midsole with a full-length Zoom Air unit, and the Jordan 12 was actually the first Jordan brand shoe to start using Zoom Air. And Phylon, if you didn't know, it's meant to be more lightweight and responsive than like a rubber cup sole. And it's used on a lot of different Jordan brand shoes and Nike shoes as well. And the 12s also have a carbon fiber plate, so just added support and rigidity there. And the 12's outsole is very good as well, herringbone traction with a 23 at the top, and then Jumpman extending all the way to the toe. I don't really love that, never really have loved how it extends over here, but yeah, it's a 12. And this shoe is a Dreamcell insole, very common for Jordan brand shoes. Is it good enough for a $200 shoe? Probably not. Are we used to it by now? Definitely. And the box of the shoe, a Jordan 12 box, Jumpman in the middle, with the same quote that you see on the booty of the shoe, quality inspired by the greatest player ever. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, I'm a wide and flat footer. For Jordan 12s, I go true to size. However, I will say 12s has always given me a bit of tightness or soreness around this arch area, but it does get better when you break it in. I don't like going up half a size on the 12s. I think there's just too much wiggle room in the toe area. So I stick true to size, break it in, have a bit of patience. It's a pretty comfortable shoe after that break-in period. It's not like my favorite in terms of comfort for Jordan Brand, but it's decent. And in terms of the cushioning of the shoe, full-length Zoom Air, Phylon midsole, pretty old technology, but it holds up in 2024. And you gotta remember, this is still a basketball shoe, so that kind of low profile feeling, kind of flatter to the ground feeling than a lot of like walking or running shoes may feel like. It's just a significant difference there. But for like casual use, walking around, definitely no problems at all. In terms of the padding around the ankle collar and around your feet, I feel very well protected, very well padded inside, and overall it is a pretty light shoe, especially compared to like early Jordans, like the Jordan 5s. I could see myself walking in this all day, no problems. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 12 Taxi Flip to 27 out of 40. Pretty average score compared to other general releases. Now first in terms of colorway, like I said before, I don't think this is a very exciting colorway. I just prefer if they bring back like the OG Taxis. As someone that doesn't really love 12s, I'm not like super excited. If it was like on a Jordan 5, I'd probably be super jazzed up. But on a 12, a shoe that I'm not in love with, I think it's okay. I think it's decent. And in terms of the materials of the shoe, pretty good, decent, not the best. The leather isn't like the thickest, but in the toe box area, it is pretty soft, and you do see a lot of that texture of the leather. As someone that likes to see that texture, I do like that part. And in terms of the comfort, the tech specs, I don't mind. Phylon midsole with a full-length Zoom Air unit, but always, as a flat footer, just that bit gets me a little bit. The arch bit can kind of hurt, especially when you're breaking the shoe in. But that's just for my feet, but I can only comment on how it fits on my feet. The cushioning is still pretty low profile, like flat to the ground if you're not really used to wearing basketball shoes as casual sneakers. So just keep that in mind. So in terms of comfort, it's comfortable, it's decent, but not really like top 3 from Jordan 1 to 14. And in terms of the versatility, I think the 12s are actually pretty wearable. Still kind of looks like a basketball shoe, but there's a certain elegance to it that makes it pretty wearable even for a basketball shoe. So I think it works pretty well. And in terms of the versatility of the colorway, yeah, majority white sneaker with black and red, super basic and standard colors that everyone's very familiar with nowadays. So very wearable colorway, not the most wearable silhouette, but still pretty versatile. Now there were rumors that the Jordan 12 Flu Game was going to re-release next year, but they tricked us. It's actually just the Jordan 12 Bloodline, a new colorway that's majority black. As a black sneaker lover, I do like that, but I don't like it when I feel deceived. But in the meantime, we get a Taxi Flip colorway, which if you're a Jordan 12 fan, I think you'll like this. It's pretty general, pretty clean, but I'm not like a huge, big, die-hard Jordan 12 guy, so not a ton to say about it. Don't hate it, don't love it. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 12 Taxi Flip. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.